billion spent. How many people in this room, besides live sports, now watch TV on their time? Not when it airs, but you watch it on Netflix or HBO Go or DVR or PVR, what do you guys call it? What do you call it? DVR? What do you call it? DVD. Great. How many people watch their favorite TV shows not when it actually airs, but when you want to watch it? Raise your hands. Oh, weird, everybody. And how many of you in the last year, every time you get a chance, fast forward every single commercial? Raise your hands. Yeah. And so this is what's happening, my friends. $80 billion spent to try to tell stories to a world where we all run away from it. How many people here can't wait to open their cell phone and click the pop-up banner ad that takes over the page they want? That's what I figured. Yet plenty of people here give recommendations to use it. My friends, it's cops and robbers, mouse and cat. We as consumers don't want to be bothered. We don't want to be interrupted. The reason Facebook has worked so well is because as the world's gone mobile and the ads are natively in the feed, they're not disrupting us from what we actually want to do, right? I, for example, will never buy a Samsung item again. You know why? Because this is how marketing works in 2015. Last year, the New York Jets, my favorite football team, were going to trade a player. So every day, I was going to ESPN.com on my phone in between every meeting just to make sure I didn't miss it. Of course, I had all the updates and followed all the things, but I just did not want to miss it. So 20 times a day, I would go to ESPN.com. Every single time that I did, a big fat banner popped up for Samsung, right? All of them. And as you guys know, the banners on cell phones, they're small. And the X, even smaller. And our thumb, even bigger, right? So 8 out of the 20 times when I went to exit out so I could go to where I really wanted to go, I missed the X and I clicked the Samsung banner. Back home at agency land and Samsung land and quant guy land, they're like, look at this impressions. Look at these 20 impressions. He clicked it 8 times. That's an incredible click-through ratio. All right. So back home, the math looks phenomenal, right? Back home, the click-through ratio is through the fucking roof. But in reality, I called my wife the 8th time, and I said, Lizzie, you listen to me. This family, until I'm dead, will never buy a fucking Samsung item again. True. We all know it, right? We all know it. And I tweeted out to my 1.2 million followers 18 times, fuck you, Samsung. And that's okay if only a couple thousand saw it, back to the problem. But then I took a selfie on Instagram and said, fuck you, Samsung. More people saw it. And I've gone on for the last 15 months to conferences and telling this story to fuck you, Samsung. And my hope is that 2 or 3 of you are affected deeply by this and never buy another Samsung item. What that means is the ROI on that 50% click-through is horrible. And that's how it works, isn't it? Right? There is so much wrong data, right? There's so much wrong big data. We talk about it, we look at it, but the problem is we just have a whole lot of marketers who just like to market. And the problem is we just have a whole lot of math guys and gals who just like the math of it. But at the end of the day, aren't we really all just sitting here talking about actual business? Like, how the fuck do I sell this sneaker? Huh? How do I sell this sneaker? I sell it by many different ways. And sure, I can have somebody go to my website, look at this sneaker, cookie the fuck out of him, follow him around the internet until he fucking gives up and buys it. I can do that. And I like that. That's one way to do it. But that can't be the only way to do it. Because that person might be, after the 19th time that he goes on a website and sees another banner for this sneaker, that person might turn it into Samsung, right? We have to do other things. Plus, more importantly, we live in a world now of an alternative. Listen, I have no vested interest in Facebook doing great or not great. I fully believe that I will be making fun of Facebook dark post ads in 3 to 4 years when the ROI swing goes the other direction. But I implore everybody to at least understand the psychology of why it works. It works because it's native in the stream. It works because it's a mix of the two groups of people that are in this room, the quant and the qual, right? It's targeted as fuck, but you still need to put the right video and the picture and the right copy and the right creative to hit them in the ear. It's always the brain and the heart. It's always the brain and the heart. And way too many people are either on team brain or team heart, and you need to smash them together. And when you find platforms that allow you to do both, a la what Facebook does right now, you've got a very special moment. And I'm sure that Instagram or Snapchat or Yik Yak or whatever else comes out in the future will pay attention to the value prop here. And it is a major value prop. And so if I can get anybody here, especially on the quant, banner, retargeting, math side, to please take a deeper look into that world, you will see humongous dividends. But please go into that world with much bigger eyes to recognize you need to respect the creative, because the creative is always the variable to the conversion. All right? So there's that.